My name is James Ketchell, I'm 29 years old. I had quite a serious motorcycle accident back in 2007. Broke my legs, broke my arm, shattered and dislocated my right ankle. At the time I had that accident, I was kind of conjuring up the idea of rowing across the Atlantic. I thought it was a little bit different. I liked the whole concept, and I thought I've got two choices here. I can sit here and kind of feel sorry for myself, or I can use the row as a form of motivation. It's a goal, it's something to aim for. Thankfully, I carried on with all my physio and actually managed to make a recovery. Went on to row single-handed across the Atlantic in 2010. And 2011, I stood on the summit of Everest on May the 16th. I look back on that accident and it was the best thing that ever happened to me. Some people would say I'm a bit crazy, but my life began after that accident. Being in the Atlantic is just the most amazing place that you could ever be. I rowed from La Gomera, which is in the Canary Islands, which is a group of islands off the coast of North Africa, across to Antigua in the Caribbean. So it's the traditional transatlantic route. It's about 3,000 miles. The trip wasn't without its challenges and problems. Many things on the boat broke. I ran out of food 230 miles from Antigua. In terms of the seas, they do get quite rough, but you get a lot of confidence in the boat after a while. It was quite common to be in seas that waves were as high as a 2 to 3 story house. But the boat deals with that very well, and you just get used to it. Probably one of the scariest things that actually happened to me on the row was nearly getting hit by an oil tanker. It was a 300-metre long tanker, and it was heading straight towards me, but it passed me to within less than 100 metres. Really should have taken about 70 to 80 days, and I ended up getting across in 110 days, 4 hours and 4 minutes to be precise. For me, climbing Everest was by far considerably harder than rowing the Atlantic. The altitude as you get high is just so sapping, and all you want to do is, when you're not climbing, you just want to sleep and eat, and that's it. And the higher you go, the harder it gets. You're climbing really slowly, but your heart is pounding. You're really struggling for breath. The air is so thin and the oxygen is so low at that level. And it's really quite a savage place. As long as I wasn't about to drop down dead, I was okay, I was still breathing, I was conscious, I knew what I was doing. All I had to do was keep going, and I got to the top. That was an incredibly tough trip. It's the most intense thing I've ever done. Well, I've always had a goal to cycle around the world. I find it quite interesting. I like traveling, I like experiencing different cultures, different places. And I thought to myself, lots of people have cycled around the world, so I just wanted to do something slightly different. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to row across the Atlantic again in January 2013. Once that's complete, I'm going to fly out to Nepal and climb Everest again. After that, I'm going to fly back to the UK and then set off straight away, cycling around the world. Now I'm trying to complete all 3 things inside 365 days. From a time point of view, it's possible, but it will be tough. It will be very tough. So there will be quite an intense training program in 2012. I'm cycling across America in June, really just a bit of a shakedown, test the bike out, test some supplements, test my tracking equipment, just see how I get on. We'll aim to do 115 miles a day. In terms of training, it's more of a mental thing than it is a physical thing. The brain will get you so much further than your body will, and I know that for a fact. It's very important to give back when you go away and you do these types of expeditions and projects, and I am actually quite heavily involved with many schools in my local area. I like to try and get the message across to younger people that actually, with the right mindset and with the right attitude, you can actually do anything that you want to do. There's nothing you can't do, but you've got to want to do it. Another reason why I'm doing this crazy project is I do quite a bit of work with a fantastic small children's charity called the ILFA Foundation, and what they do is they supply specialist equipment to disabled children, so specialist beds, wheelchairs, anything to improve the quality of life. So if I can go away, do something that I want to do, go on a crazy adventure, and at the same time inspire younger people to go on and do similar things, and also raise awareness and hopefully some funds for a great cause. I think that's a really good thing. Anyone getting involved with the project, it's really quite an exciting thing. We've got opportunities to take things up and down Everest. We've got opportunities to take things around the world. So, from a product testing point of view, we're going into some of the world's harshest environments. So there's many different opportunities for people to get involved.